What's up, guys? Back at it again with the 2012 SXT Charger. We're going to do the rear brakes. If you haven't seen the front brake change already, it does differ from the RT, SRT, things like that, because these are one piston calipers up front. So we're going to be doing a video on the rears too, because I imagine those are going to be different too. One of the things you'll need is a jack. You also need your parts, pads, rotors. Now these rear wheels are actually pretty stuck on there pretty good, so we're going to grab a mallet and just kind of pound it around against the tire, see if that comes off. So now with that off, we can visually inspect this mess and start replacing it. Now with limited space, we're using an 18mm open-ended wrench to hold the guide pin and a 15mm wrench for the guide pin bolt. On the front side, the guide pin bolts are 13mm, so it's kind of strange why this is 15, but it is what it is. We're taking it out. With both bolts out, you want to take a flathead or something to pry this off. Now you need to set this aside. Normally I would use a caliper hook and hook it onto a coil spring or something. This is kind of an awkward position of where it is, so I'm actually going to slip this back here if I can, which doesn't look like I can, so I'm just going to kind of keep this hanging over here gently, not with a whole lot of force. So now we can take off the caliper bracket. Jesus, look at these pads. I'm going to take off the caliper bracket, pads first, then caliper bracket, see what condition we're working with here. Okay, this has proven very difficult to take these pads off, which is no surprise seeing the condition that they're in. So we're going to take off the bracket and pull this all off together. Alright, the caliper brackets are 18mm bolts. Definitely get yourself one of these. This is running hot now because that bottom bolt is absolutely seized, so we're going to use some lubricant, let that kind of penetrate first, then we'll try again. Alright, we finally got that sucker out of there. Finally. Once you have the pads out and you got the bracket all by itself, take a wire brush all this kind of stuff off, kind of clean it up a bit. I think that already knocked it loose. Yeah, buddy! And of course on the inside, this is what you can see. You can see this. This is a spring-loaded gear here. So as you're turning it with the flathead screwdriver in this little window that you just uncovered, you're pushing it, rotating it this way, while you're pushing each gear with the flathead going towards the front of the vehicle, and that is bringing these shoes just a little bit more recessed. So yeah, ugh. Time to clean up and install the new parts. And just FYI, if you're turning this thing and it seems like it's going nowhere, trust me, we all know the pain. This takes forever to bring everything back in. Remember that you're adjusting this in small steps. And once you have the new rotor on, you want to make sure you put maybe a lug nut or something just to hold it in place so it's not just wobbling all over the place. Then the next thing you want to do is take an old brake pad, take some sort of compression tool like a C-clamp or other tools to just compress this piston down till it's flush. Alright, this is pretty strange. These brackets, or this brake pad hardware, is kind of wide. This comes with the power stop kit. Seem to be the right size pads, but they sent these brackets that seem a little too wide. Rockauto sent me the wrong ones. I'm going to use the old hardware. It's a safer bet. So we'll clean this up with a brush and reinstall the old hardware. I hate to do that, but Rockauto kind of put me in a little bit of... This is the second time now. What has happened? I've ordered from Rockauto for years, and I've never had this issue. And now twice in a row on orders, I've had some sort of problem. What's going on, Rockauto? Alright, when you're ready to install your caliper bracket, I like to put a little bit of thread locker, even though there's some that already exist on the threads. Just a little bit extra of the blue won't hurt. And once you have these pads on, trust me, you gotta like go in past the bracket here. Don't try to install them as the hardware or whatever. It kind of seems like it won't fit, but you actually have to bring it in past the bracket and fit into these slots here and here. And of course, once again, we're reusing the old hardware because Rockauto sent obviously the wrong one. And make sure you lubricate your brake pads. And then you should have this back on. Put your guide pin bolts back in. All right, now that that's all back together, everything's good. We're just gonna do a little dot, 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 dot. Oh gosh, and dot. Doesn't have to be neat. And actually, you don't even have to do this. I just like to do this for my own sanity, in case that wheel gets kind of like stuck on there again. I just want it to be a easy breezy process next time, if there is a next time. Now, I've mentioned this before, this is my mother-in-law's car, so I want to make sure that I inspect things like so. Sway bar linkage is yeah, cracked up, so those will need to be replaced soon. Don't see anything terribly wrong or obvious in the other areas. You could take a flathead and just sort of try to move it, which, is that moving? No, not easily. Come over here, try to move this, see if that moves easily. It does not. So this sway bar linkage is probably number one to replace next in future repairs. So I'll just let her know that's kind of going. And yeah, now we just do this, put the wheel back on, tighten down the lug nuts, and we're good to go to the other side. So even though I'm a complete mess, like, subscribe, and all that fun cringy stuff, I know I have to mention it. It's not that I ask of anything of this YouTube channel. It's more or less that I hope that whatever I'm doing here today helps someone else along the way that needs help doing it themselves. So if it helped you, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below if you had other ideas on how to approach things. I think I did everything according to the, to the book, with a little bit of, extra finesse with DIY, like using a flathead screwdriver to move that spring gear. Regardless, there are some things that I like to do differently than others, and others like to do things differently than myself. So if this helped you, be sure to stay tuned for following videos. We're also going to troubleshoot in the next one a washer fluid leak. This is my mother-in-law's car. I'm helping fixing. She ordered the parts and everything, so I'm just fixing things up. So the washer fluid reservoir is leaking, and how we know this is that every time she fills it up, it leaks and pours all over the place. It empties within an hour. So obviously there's some sort of leak that we're unaware of, so I'm going to troubleshoot that in the next video with maybe using tall cups of water to try to locate where this leak is coming from and see what we could do to fix that. We'll see you guys on the next one, huh? Engine mounts on the RT Daytona coming in the next few days to next week. I'm not gonna lie though, Rockauto, this is the second order in a row that you guys sent me wrong parts. Second order in a row. This has never happened before in the history of me ordering anything Rockauto. And once again, featured in another video of mine, I'm a very hefty Rockauto customer. Getting some more added over there in the corner. But regardless, Rockauto, what's going on, man? This has never happened. Twice in a row, and never happened previously. I know what I'm picking. You guys are just sending the wrong parts. Anyways, see you guys on the next one.